is doing it. This is the vibes. I'm a little nervous, guys. Like they're pirates. An insane journey. Okay, so for today, I'm going to be starting up my first pirate romance, which is Ship of Spells by Leighton Dickson. And this was gifted to me and I'm so excited to get into it. I am new to the genre, so we're going to give it a whack. Super excited to get into this, mostly just because I'm judging a book on its cover. And look how freaking cute this cover is, okay? I'll read you a little excerpt. A war-scarred mage, a sentient ship, a secret that could drown empires. When Ensign Bloomage Honor Reyne is rescued from the wreckage of her first naval post, she expects death or disgrace. Instead, she walks aboard the Touchstone, a mythical vessel whispered of in dockside ballads and royal war rooms alike. With a crew of misfits, a mysterious elven captain, and a mission tied to the Dread Wall, the crumbling barrier that has kept the overland and the Nether Sea from open war for 100 years. But the tragedy that sank her last ship didn't take lives, it left something behind. Now Reyne carries a secret everyone wants, a magic that's chimeric, arcane, and slowly killing her, but the captain's mission may be her only chance to survive, even if he still doesn't trust her. Caught between privateers, princes, and spies, Reyne knows that each choice could sink her future or set the sea on fire. Hey. I was a little nervous with the whole like pirate-y vibes because I was like, is there gonna be like words like swashbuckling that I don't necessarily know the meaning of? And I read the first chapter and it actually like read very well in my mind. Like I felt like I was watching a movie, which is such a good sign because the first chapter was like really intense. And so I was a little nervous that I would miss something. But honestly, like I felt like I was watching a movie. It was crazy. Today is Tuesday. Heather has a book signing, which I'm going to go to tonight with my mom. And my mom's going to pick up a copy of the book. I'm so like socially awkward. So we're going to see how that goes. And then I'm also going to try to vlog while I'm there. Wish me luck. But yeah, so I want to get a good way into the book today. So then by the time I do the book signing, I can be like, I read, 100 pages or something, I do have to leave for work in about an hour. So we're going to read a bit more and then go from here. I made it to chapter 3 and I'm loving the crew so far. They seem like a bunch of fun, lovable misfits. You know what I mean? So I'll catch you in the next clip when I pick up the book again. I just got off my shift from work. I have 2 hours till the book signing. I'm gonna hop into Ship of Spells and try to get as much reading done as I can.
There is some food and everything down here.
Food.
So help yourselves in between.
Go with fire, no guns, shed no tears, strike more bears.
Wow, you should be a videographer. That's beautiful. It's the next day. I had so much fun at the book release party for Ship of Spells. It was literally such a hoot. Even more excited to get into this now. I didn't think it would be possible, but here I am. So I was thinking that we hop into something. What the heck? What? You're next? Read. Oh. Anyways. I do feel a little bit of book anxiety going into this because I really don't want to miss anything. So I'm gonna lock in and read as much as I can. The next piece. We found the next piece, and also I read a good amount yesterday. I am on page 255. There's about 140 pages left of this. My plan for today is to finish it, and if I don't finish it, no, my plan is to finish it. She's doing it. She's doing it. I'm real nervous that she's doing it. This book is getting crazy, and it also, now that I'm thinking about it, I have like 100 pages left, and I have no idea how it's gonna end, because right now they're like quite in a pickle. They're in a pickle. I'm a little nervous, guys. I don't know how it's gonna end. We're gonna find out. Like, I'm literally zero idea. So let's keep reading. The last piece. I just finished The Ship of Spells. That was an insane journey. Stay tuned. I'm gonna review The Ship of Spells at the end of this video, although you can probably see where it's going. Now you might be thinking, why is my family out at 2 a.m.? It's not 2 a.m. It's just 6 p.m. in daylight savings.
We're just going to
Indigo! Oh, George, this is so on brand. Reading a book?
You read it yourself.
That was great, George. Quite the bummer. They don't have it. This is the vibes for the winter, okay? This is the vibes. Okay, so I just got 40% of the way through A Sea of Roses, and I have a few notes. The first one is a lot of exclamation marks. And I have just been brainwashed to believe that exclamation marks are only used for women in emails, and they kind of give me a bad vibe. That's just me though. Like, that's just me. Second of all, this book is freaking juicy. The drama, the pining is actually so good. Sea of Roses is definitely more romance focused and less plot driven as opposed to The Ship of Spells. I am really liking the FMC and the MMC. They're definitely doing like an enemies to lovers type thing. You know how much I love enemies to lovers. So I'm 40% of the way through. I'm gonna make some soup and then I'll probably read some more tonight. So I'll see you in the next clip. Okay, this is what I mean by the exclamation mark point that I said earlier. This is what it says. Alistair couldn't ignore the fact that she'd watched his back. I was saved by a bloody woman. Like, that's how I'm imagining I was saved by a bloody woman. Hope this finds you well. Okay, I'm sorry. I know this is just me, but I just can't get over it. In total, with staying up way too late last night reading and reading on my lunch break, I made it to 60% of The Sea of Roses. I am devouring this book, I feel like. For me, this just feels like a romance and less like they're pirates, which appeals to me as a romance reader, don't get me wrong, but I wish there were a little more like plot on why they're pirates, where they're going, why they're going there. And I know that the author is setting it up so it's like a big reveal, which is fine, but I'm still like, why are we headed this direction? Like, who knows? Why are we doing this all? Anyways, my Kindle says I have 3 hours and 18 minutes left in the book. So I might just sit down and try to get up until maybe like 80% or something like that tonight, spend like an hour and a half, and probably finish it tomorrow. Good morning. I am gonna finish this book. We got a little more context of why she was doing what she was doing, which I greatly appreciated. There was character development, plot movement, It was really great. So I got 30% more to go, and I'm gonna finish it right now. Alrighty, it's review time. Girl, I'm so excited to hop into this. So these are gonna have like probably brief spoilers. If you're like yearning to read one of these books, you've been warned. Don't watch this section. So I'm first going to talk about The Ship of Spells by Leighton Dickson, because this book was so freaking good. Something I loved most about The Ship of Spells was the cinematic, plot-driven craziness of this book. I also really liked our FMC Reyne. I feel like she was a very neutral character to absorb all the information around her. I also really love the characters and their banter. That was probably one of the biggest standouts, along with the amazing plot, of course. Now, going into this as a romance reader, the romance was the back burner. You know what I mean? Definitely B-plot vibes, but I'm glad it was there. It could have romanced a little harder, because I'm not really used to B-plot romance, so it kind of felt like that was a good romance, but I don't know if they're in love, because I don't know, if they got to that point. My perception is the romance was lacking, but also like it was the B-plot. It was supposed to be less developed, but maybe I'm just uncensored. Maybe I'm just desensitized. Also, the touchstone, her sassiness was probably my favorite part of the book. She was so sassy, defending her king, like, yes. And then also Thanavar, our MMC, totally gave me like Howl from Howl's Moving Castle vibes with his black hair. And then he turns into, that's such a big spoiler. I guess I said there's gonna be spoilers, but anyways, when he turns into his like raven and then he comes back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, something about boys turning into birds. I don't know. Okay, but overall, Ship of Spells got a 4.25 stars for me, and I highly recommend for anyone who loves adventure books, for one, but also is just looking for something where the plot just blows your mind. Okay, next up we have The Sea of Roses by Opal Reyne. Going into this book, this is very romance heavy in comparison to The Ship of Spells, okay? And for me as a romance girly, like, I ate that up, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like my favorite, and I think that's just because it's a pirate romance. Like, I think the pirate aspect did ruin it for me. The spicy scenes were like iffy on the consent, which always turns me off on a book, but the spice was spicing. Another thing that bugged me, FMC was written as like, obviously she's a female captain of her ship, like that never happened, she's a girl boss, but then her actions, a huge fight to get this ship, it's awesome, she like kills this guy who abused her. Amazing. I loved it. So good. And then the book should have ended there. And this is the girl bossing issue I'm having with, is that she goes, actually, I don't really know what I want to do now that I have this ship and I completed my mission, so I'm just gonna follow this guy around. Girl, you just girl boss so hard to get you this ship, and with it you're just gonna follow a man? I just could not believe. First of all, this is a duology, so I know there was going to be a cliffhanger, but the cliffhanger sucked at the end of the book. Okay, so that was a lot of negative stuff, but the first 70% of the book, really good. They should have just ended it right there. The pacing was just off for that. I don't know. I was gonna rate it a 3.75, but then since the ending kind of like tanked, I think it's gonna lower it down to just a 3 stars flat. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you had a great time, and feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you need to do, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!